This is the time of year that the temperature begins to drop. The leaves are turning yellow, and most visitors have left for warmer climates. If you happen to be here at this time, take advantage of these facts without crowds, as your experience will be very rewarding.
Arriving in the parking lot, you'll generally find parking space available. The parks have allowed for a substantial amount of parking spaces for both vehicles, buses, and RVs. They also have restrooms here and another larger restroom building to the back, allowing for the larger overflow of summer tourists. The parking lot area also offers visitor information where the visitor center is located. Please, if it is open, do not miss going in the visitor center. Not alone a nice gift shop, but some very great displays. Located just over the top of the roof of the visitor center is Exit Glacier. If you're going to climb up above the glacier, up the different trails to the ice fields, that will be going to the right, up over the top of the roof, but to the right. You will have views of the glacier from time to time, and then you'll get up to the ice fields that just go endlessly on the Harding ice fields.
Be prepared for incredible views, possible wildlife viewing, and the crisp, clear air of fall.
The trails start just behind the visitor center. They are all well marked with great signage. The glacier view, which is just viewing from the lower area off the paved trail, which is handicap accessible, is a very short distance. To get to the glacier overlook, a little bit longer, not too aggressive, a few tight spots, but nothing that's not manageable, is about an hour and 15 minutes round trip at a slower pace. To go to the Harding ice fields, it will take off from this trail in 0.4 miles. Much more aggressive. At a slower pace, figure 6 hours round trip. If you're super fit, maybe you can do it in 3.5 or 4. And that's to the top, to the ice fields. Early hikers in the season will find that they run into snow lower on the mountain. Generally by July, you can climb all the way to the ice fields.
Incidentally, by now you have seen the signs with numbers denoting the previous years when the terminus of the glacier was at that location. Make note of the growth of the forest since these landmark mileposts.
If you're planning your stay to Seward and you're not planning on a vehicle, there are ways to get to this wonderful park area with Exit Glacier guides. They offer a shuttle service that runs round trip from in Seward proper, with different pickup locations, and will take you out to the parking lot, and you can kind of do a hop-on, hop-off situation and catch one of their other return shuttles later in the day. They also offer guided hikes on the glacier, which will get you up to one of the lower levels to be able to hike across and get onto the ice, something you would not be able to do without a guide. Something worth considering if that's one of your goals, as the hike all the way to the ice fields is extremely strenuous and you wouldn't have a guide once you get up there. So kind of a nice way to go about it. So check out Exit Glacier Guides. They are an excellent provider in Seward.
You will find helpful details about distances, places to take pictures, and other spots of interest.
Don't be in too much of a rush. Stop and enjoy some of the wonderful information placards put out by the National Park Service. They have done a dynamic job with your tax dollars, so take some time. Here's where the trail makes a split. So if you are going to be heading on up to do the glacier overlook, which is what probably 95, maybe 98% of our guests at our bed and breakfast will be doing. This is the path you'll be taking. Easy to see, well marked. If you're going to go for the more adventuresome Harding Ice Fields hike, it starts right here too. It is an 8.2 round trip hike up to the ice fields. And as you'll be seeing in some photos that will be following this, our hike today is going to take you closer to those ice fields. So disclaimer, we didn't make it all the way. We made it pretty darn far. Okay, so, and it was summertime when we tried that one. But most of you will be on the one to the overlook, and well worth the walk. Not very far. Don't need expert hiking shoes or anything. Hiking poles are always a plus, just for steady on some of the little bit of areas near the overlook. Otherwise, no problem, even if you don't have them. But enjoy your walk. It'll be great. Surprise. I first saw the glacier in 2006, and it rested at right about this point that the camera's on now. Since then, in less than 13 years, it is now back up that far. Very sad.
No matter which way you look, in front of you, in back of you, or to either side, the views are all picture quality. The National Park Service has also thought of well-placed conveniences for your comfort and security. Stop and rest and drink in your surroundings. Park your bike, if you rode one, right here. The road is closed throughout winter. In early spring, beginning in early May and sometimes April, the gate remains closed, but locals and hardy visitors take advantage of the fact that no cars, other than snowplows, are on the road. These are fun times as there are opportunities to view early season wildlife, the continuing beauty of the snow and the surrounding mountains, and the sun making everything bright. Although some hiking can be done, snowshoes and skis are still the preferred method off the road. As park staff and road maintenance work to prepare the park for the bulk of summer visitors, it becomes an early season playground for those lucky enough to take advantage. During the winter, there are myriad activities possible in this area, including snowmobiling and skiing. The local Seward Nordic Ski Club grooms one half of the road for both skate and classic styles of cross-country skiing, and a nearby sports adventure group offers snowcat trips into and out of the park.
If you've decided to make that Harding Ice Field Trail hike, as you just start in a short distance onto the cutoff for that trail, you will come upon an information sign and registration for use of the trail. That gives them an idea of who's up on the trail and maybe has not come down or has run into a difficulty. So stop here, register, read the information, look at your various signs, and it'll give you a good idea of where you're going and the different main labeled points along the trail. Also, there is much more wildlife possibilities of running into animals there. Do suggest carrying bear spray with you. Do read the signs for any recent spottings. We made it as high as top of the cliffs, which will be the photos that will be following.
So here we are at the beginning of the trail to the ice field. Make no mistake, this is a strenuous trail, and it is advisable to be well prepared to tackle it. Just for basics, a sturdy pair of shoes, a water bottle, some extra snacks, a light jacket or sweatshirt, and of course your camera. Optional would be a hat, sunglasses, especially on sunny days, and hiking poles. It is not uncommon for snow to be deep well into July as the terrain rises into the 4,000-foot level. Remember, that's about 1,000 feet per mile. For many, the descent is worse than the climb, but the views will convince you that the effort was well worth it. You will see what cannot be seen from below and otherwise would only be visible from a plane. If you have the energy and the motivation, you will never forget this spectacular experience.